What's going on, everyone? We're going to talk about the Atlantic Council. You may have heard of it, you may not have. Either way, let's take a look at this. And of course, this is a minefield, always has been. Tread carefully, trust no one, and verify everything. So, the Atlantic Council, what is it? Within a few years of the signing of the North Atlantic Treaty in 1949, voluntarily organizations emerged in the member countries of the alliance to promote public understanding and support for the policies and institutions that would build collective security and peace. Yeah, right. This international network of citizens associations was bound together formally in 1954 with the creation of the Atlantic Treaty Association. In 1961, former Secretaries of State Dean Axon and Christian Herter, with Will Clayton, William Foster, Theodore Achilles, and other distinguished Americans, recommended the consolidation of the U.S. Citizens Group supporting the Atlantic Alliance into the Atlantic Council of the United States. So, of course, we take the names given to us in this second paragraph here, and we're going to go ahead and look a little bit further into these names. So first we have Dean Axon, or Axon. In 1944, Axon attended the Bretton Woods Conference as the head delegate from the State Department. At this conference, the post-war international economic structure was designed. The conference was the birthplace of the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, the last of which would evolve into the World Trade Organization. We're going to keep those things right there on the side. Now let's look at Christian Herter. He was part of the U.S. delegation to the 1919 Paris Peace Conference, where he helped draft the Covenant of League of Nations. Later, he was the assistant to Herbert Hoover in providing starvation relief to post-war Europe. Herter went on to work for Hoover when Hoover became Secretary of Commerce in the Harding administration. Herter also participated in the 1919 meeting that resulted in creating the U.S. Council on Foreign Relations. Also, in 1947, Herter founded the Middle East Institute with Middle East scholar George Camp Kaiser, and then served on the board of trustees of the World Peace Foundation. So now we have Will Clayton. He was a member of the interim committee appointed to advise Secretary of War Henry L. Stimson and President Harry S. Truman on problems expected to arise from the development of an atomic bomb, and he was an economic advisor to Truman at the Potsdam Conference. Now we have William Foster. Foster joined the Socialist Party of America in 1901 and was a member of the party's Washington State affiliate until he left the party in the midst of a faction fight. Foster had contacts with a number of members of the newly formed Communist Party, but had not joined it after it split from the Socialist Party of America in 1919. I think that should say until after it split. So that's William Foster. So lastly, Theodore Achilles. In 1950, he became U.S. Vice Deputy of the North Atlantic Council in London. He served as minister to Paris from 1952 up until 1960, and as ambassador to Peru from 1956 to 1960. He returned to Washington again in 1960 when President Eisenhower made him counselor of the Department of State. In this capacity, he was in charge of a special task force preparing for the Bay of Pigs invasion. After his retirement from government, Achilles became a director and vice chairman of the Atlantic Council of the United States, a promoter of global governance. Global governance. So, in total, we have the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the World Trade Organization, the U.S. Council on Foreign Relations, Middle East Institute, the World Peace Foundation, Interim Committee, the Atomic Bomb, Potsdam Conference, the North Atlantic Council, the Bay of Pigs invasion, the Communist Party of the USA, and the Atlantic Council of the United States, all created by the founders of the Atlantic Council, whose primary mission is global governance. Now, there's another person we need to add on to this list who is more recently relevant. Let's take a look. The Council convened a major international conference on rebuilding East-West relations in 1988. We all know what happened in 1987, and during that time, the same time we had a giant bond scandal going on over here at Wall Street with Salomon Brothers and the whole gang that we all see in the markets today. Now, since its inception, the Council has administered programs to examine political and economic as well as security issues, and to cover Asia, the Americas, and other regions in addition to Europe. All its programs are, however, based on the conviction that a healthy transatlantic relationship is fundamental to progress in organizing a strong international system. So now that we know who has created the Atlantic Council, some of their background, some big things that they've been a part of and created and helped draft, and what the Atlantic Council is generally designed to do, let's take a look at Jessica Ashu, former non-resident senior fellow, Rafiq Harari, Center for the Middle East, still a part of the Atlantic Council today. In the About Me section of the Atlantic Council, you can find a little bit about her. Dr. Jessica Ashu is a former non-resident senior fellow at the Rafiq Harari Center for the Middle East. She is based in San Francisco, where she is Director of Policy for Reddit, the online discussion platform. In this capacity, she addresses a range of online and technological policy issues from fake news to online terrorist recruiting. Previously, from 2015 to 2017, she served as Deputy Director for Madeline Albright and Stephen Hadley's Bipartisan Middle East Strategy Task Force at the Atlantic Council. In this position, she focused on long-term strategy to more comprehensively address state issues. Now we'll take these two things out of here. And we put it all together, and we have another prong of global governance. So it's starting to become clear that there's a lot more going on in a macro scale than first, notice. So how deep does this go? Not sure, but gonna keep looking for sure, because this shit's getting interesting. Buckle up.